Thanks, Jordan. All right, injury front, Dewan, that's a fractured fibula. Very disappointed for the young man. That will require surgery. We'll support him throughout that rehab. Other stuff, injury-wise, Jeff Swaim has a concussion, so he's in the protocol. He will be out this week. Denzel Ward has rib and ankle injuries. He'll be day-to-day. Greg Newsome, shoulder injury. He'll be day-to-day. As you know, not practicing today on this short week, so we'll have some injury updates for you as we get going. These Thursday night games don't allow you really to spend much time thinking about the previous one. You got to get on the next opponent, understand what they're about as a team, offense, defense, special teams, all those things. So we need to lock in this week versus a division opponent. Obviously, yesterday, like we talked about after the game, very disappointing. Disappointing going to the fourth quarter with a chance and then not finish that game. And we all sharing it. It's an offense, defense, special teams, players and coaches type of thing. So we all sharing it. We have to look at all those things and go back to how you win games in this league and correct those things starting this week so you can go out and find a way to win versus a good Steelers team. But with that, I'll take any questions.
All right, first question will go to Scott.
Hey, Kevin, you mentioned, it's a team effort, but you're so good on special teams and defense last year and haven't been able to duplicate that this year. What do you think the issues have been?
Well, first thing I'd say is every year stands on its own merit, and you don't take previous years with you because teams, you're different, and that's the truth. We have high standards for our entire team. We certainly have high standards for our defense, for our special teams. We have played better. There are things that we know we can improve, and it's a combination of a lot of things, Scott, that we're committed to getting fixed.
And when you went back and watched the film, what did you think of the effort?
Yeah, I thought we didn't play well enough to win, is really what I saw.
But did the effort bother you? I know, people question that. You give 20 points in the fourth quarter, a couple long runs. Do you have any issues with the effort?
Yeah, I think we got out executed a couple times where we just didn't do our job in some moments.
Thanks.
All right, next we're going to Mary Kay.
Yeah, Kevin, with DeWand out, and obviously this is such an important position when you're going against the Steelers. Do you think there is a chance that Judd might be able to play? And can you kind of take us through how that went? Because he was full on the injury report all week. So how did that go down?
Yeah, we'll work through that this week to see, Mary Kay, if Jed can make it to Thursday night. Yeah, he was full, still feeling that injury. So just felt like it was best to get him some more treatment on that over the weekend.
And do you feel like if he can get out there that maybe he would be your best option to replace DeWan this weekend?
We'll see how it goes over the next couple of days.
Okay.
All right, next we'll go to Chris.
Kevin, I want to ask you about the Denzel specifically. Just, you've been around him a while. How is he playing his best football right now in your mind?
He's played really well over the time I've been with him. Certainly played really well yesterday, making game-changing plays. And that's one of the things, as you guys know, we've talked about taking the ball away. And those are two examples of him taking that away, going up and getting it on the interception, ripping it out on the fumble. So he certainly is playing at a high level.
Thanks.
All right, next we'll go to Daniel.
Hey, Kevin. Juan Thornhill only played about 23 snaps, I believe. Was that a coaching decision and the decision to only play him that much?
Yeah, we're rotating Ronnie and Juan in that game. Just, we have a lot of guys that we like at that position, so felt like that was the right thing to do.
Okay, so I guess my follow-up is, will that starting spot still kind of be in flux or be under consideration?
Yeah, I think with Ronnie being healthy, and obviously there's been different points where Juan hasn't been healthy, so trying to get both of those guys out there as much as we can.
Thank you.
All right, next we'll go to Cam.
Kevin, we've asked you guys about things that the players can do to clean things up and execute better, like reducing those penalties, getting takeaways, things like that. as coaches and your coaching staff, what are some of those things that you guys can do to do what you're trying to do and be better?
I think it goes back to we want to put our guys in position to make plays, Cam. I think it's as simple as that sometimes in football, where our job is to make sure our guys are set up for success. So whether it's making sure a guy gets a one-on-one in a blitz or getting a guy open on a pass route, that's what we're constantly trying to do, is put our guys in position to go make plays.
Thank you.
Next, we'll go to Jeff.
Hey, Kevin, I noticed that Mike Vrabel's on the sideline yesterday, little earpiece in his ear. Earlier, you told us that he wouldn't be involved in game days. So what's going on there? Has something changed or what?
No, I mean, Rabes is involved in a lot of what we do. He's out there on home games. He was able to come to this one. He's listening in on the conversations with us. He's a great resource for me game day, Monday through Friday. So he will continue to do that.
Okay, thanks.
All right, next, we'll go to Ashley.
Hey, Kevin, just to follow up on the safeties question, when you say that rotating those guys at that spot is the best thing to do, like, do you mean it's the best thing to do to give you a chance to win, or is it a health thing? Like, what do you mean by that, I guess?
Yeah, I think both of those guys have had injuries, so I think it makes sense to rotate them from that perspective. Both those guys have made plays for us, so it's an opportunity to get Ronnie out there and get him some reps as well.
And then just with DeWand, I mean, losing him now, I guess how difficult does that make it to evaluate what he did on that left side of the line in such a small sample size?
I think it's an imperfect thing, obviously, when you're talking about that type of sample size, but we had plenty of practices there. We had game reps there. So it certainly allows you to, at the end of the season, say, okay, this is what he did on the right side. This is what he did on the left side.
All right, next, we'll go to Daryl.
Yeah, Kevin, you've unfortunately had to use disappointing a lot this year and talk about making corrections. The results say the corrections aren't showing up on the field. My question is, why do you think that is? And do you have the attention that you require as a coach from this locker room right now?
Yeah, I think when you're where our record is, Daryl, you're obviously disappointed. Players, coaches, we all share in that. My focus is really finding a way to get a win this week. Anything else taken away from that, I really can't speak to it.
And the inability to score really stands out this season. You know, yesterday, Jameis throws for nearly 400 yards, 2 touchdowns, takes care of the football. You only get 14 points out of that. How do you fix that going into a short week here against a very formidable and stingy Steeler defense?
I think it's always, again, a combination of things, but it's going to be incumbent upon our players, our coaches, give these guys a plan that they can go execute. And typically when you execute, when you do your job, that's where those points come from. That's where those third down conversions come from, points in the red zone, all those things. Very simply, give our guys a plan and then execute the plan.
All right, next, we'll go to Patrick.
Coach, just as one of pro football's oldest rivalries, how unique is the Browns rivalry with this with the Steelers, and how much are you looking forward to getting back in front of the home crowd on Thursday?
Yeah, this is a great division, as you know, with the AFC North, and everybody knows each other so well. And when you have cities in such close proximity, I think that adds to the rivalries, because there's so many people that grew up around here, grew up around Pittsburgh, obviously interact with each other throughout the year. So it makes it special. Being down at our stadium, the last division game was special. I'd expect nothing but the same, especially in the setting of a Thursday night.
Thank you.
All right, next, go back to Mary Kay.
Yeah, Kevin, just wondering, what is the feedback or the messaging that you're getting from management and ownership during these tough times?
I think all of us, it really goes back to Mary Kay. We all share in this. Nobody's happy being where our record is, but I know all of our focus is on this game and finding a way to get a win in this game.
Okay, thank you.
All right, we'll go back to Scott.
Hey, Kevin, is there any thought to bringing in another kicker?
No.
Okay. And why did Nick only play, I think it was 22 snaps yesterday?
Just still having a plan with these guys, bringing them back, making sure that we're using both guys.
Did Thursday, the fact that it's a quick turnaround, have any impact there?
It did.
Okay, thank you.
All right, and looks like last one from Jeff.
I just want to ask another one about Dustin Hopkins. Have you noticed anything about why he's having more difficulty kicking this year?
I think there's always things that whether the kicker, the left guard, the safety, it doesn't matter. I think there's always things technique that we can work on, work through, get better at. There's things that he wants to do. Certainly, we expect him to make those kicks. He expects himself to make those kicks. I've seen him make those kicks. He's been doing this for a very long time, but it's still technique, and he's always going to be making sure that he's sharpening his technique, if you will, and he'll continue to do that for us.
All right, thank you.
All right, that wraps us up. Thanks, Coach.
Okay. Thank you, guys.
All right, guys, we'll see you back here around 4:30.